Welcome to the Firestarter. This book will teach you how to unleash your inner greatness. It will dispel any myths you may have that success is esoteric and only attainable to a specific race, social status, or those who are born destined. By the time you reach the end of this book, it will become evidently clear to you that anyone can obtain success and greatness if they only apply the right techniques. This book will help you understand what is success and why some people are successful and others are not. But let me first make it completely clear to you that this is not a get-rich-quick book. As a matter of fact, once you have made up your mind to put the information in this book to use, you will find that all hell will break loose. Relationships with both loved ones and friends will be tested. But I assure you, if you stick to the plan, you will develop the resolve, confidence, and fortitude to be successful. So let's start off the story, the Firestarter.
Once there were two villages, high upon two separate mountains. They were only separated by a valley below and a huge drop to the ground, and close enough that the villagers could stand on the edge of each mountain and yell to each other. In one village lived a young man. He was an ordinary young man, hardworking and full of honor. In the other village, his true love. She was not just an ordinary young lady, she was a princess and the most beautiful woman in all the area. He knew she was his true love because they played together from they were kids. They shared their first kiss together, and when they went away to school, they promised to save themselves for each other. The two villages lived in harmony, and every month they would get together and have a meeting and celebration down in the valley below. Now that the young man and woman were both back from school, the girl's father and king sent word to all the neighboring villages that he was going to make a special announcement and that everyone should be in attendance. At the next meeting, there were thousands of people everywhere waiting to hear what the king had to say. The king said to them, "I thank you all for coming. I know many of you have traveled very far to be here, so I will get right to the point. As you know, my daughter has just come back from school, and it is now time that she get married. I will give her hand in marriage, my throne, and half my riches to one man, if he will complete one task." When he said that, you could hear the shouts of joy from every man in attendance, saying, "I will win it. No, I will win it." The king said, "The task will be to build a bridge high upon the mountains that could connect our village and our neighboring village across from us." Then you could hear many of the men become irate, saying it was impossible and it can't be done. Being very wise, the king said to them, "I know that this may upset many of you, but you must understand that this is an incredible gift for an incredible task. So please, eat and enjoy the celebration and go home and think about what I have proposed to you today. If you decide to accept my challenge, come back in 1 month ready to start building." While everyone else was enjoying the celebration, the young man and the princess went for a walk. She told him, "What am I going to do? I have never loved anyone else but you, and I could never love anyone else but you. I would rather kill myself than give myself to anyone else." The young man told her, "Don't worry, I will win the task and I will marry you." She said, "But how? You have never built a bridge before." And he replied, "Neither has anyone else. Remember, I am an engineer and I have been building things from I was a small boy. I love to build just as I love you. Also, my father used to tell me that a man can do anything if he only believes." On the way back to the village, the young man told his friends, "I am going to win this task and marry the princess." And his friends told him, "You need to forget about that girl. There is no way you will win. Besides, there are far more talented and experienced builders than you. Did you also forget that it is impossible and cannot be done?" The young man told them, "My father used to tell me that a man can do anything if he only believes. Remember, I have been building things since I was a small boy. Besides, I am doing this for the honor of the woman that I love. I will not fail." For the next month, he dedicated all of his time to studying everything he could find about building a bridge and construction. He made sketches and models and spoke with anyone who would counsel him on building. Then he took everything he had learned and made a blueprint. Now he was ready. When the day of the task came, what was thousands of men were now less than 100 men. Every man was ready and his tools in his hand. Then the king asked every man to produce a blueprint. Now what was close to 100 men dwindled down to only 5 men, and every man who did not have a blueprint was told that they could not compete. Out of the men that were left, there were 3 men who were considered the best builders in the area. There was a prince and, of course, the young man. Before they started, they were given the rules. Each man was to build the bridge on his own. He could only have help lifting and connecting large items, but labor must be done by him. The prince became outraged with the rules because he brought 150 servants with him, so he quit. The second rule was, once the bridge was completed, it must be able to withstand the weight of 3 elephants. The first man to complete the task is the winner. Now that you are aware of the rules, you may begin. You are also given permission to order any supplies that will aid you in completing the task. They were off. Immediately they started getting to work. But before the young man got to work, he started to order supplies he needed. He ordered 50 oak trees to be cut to specific thickness and length. He then ordered 50 slabs of rock, 10 shaved to one thickness, height and length, and 40 to another. Then he ordered 200 gallons of the sap that grew in the caves down in the valley. When people heard about the things he was requesting, they laughed at him and called him an idiot. They said he was a fool and that he did not know what he was doing, and the king should remove him from the race. But he did not let that bother him. He immediately got himself into a routine. He would get up each day. First he would meditate for a while, then he would exercise. From there he would go down to the edge of the mountain where he would wave to the princess, then work until long after dark. When it was too late to work, he then went home and studied his blueprints and read more about building until he fell asleep. Then he would get up and do it all again the next day. Each man worked an 8-hour day each day. But often the young man would work as much as 16 hours. They never noticed how much more he was working because he started out digging a foundation. It took him 6 months to dig one side and 8 months to dig the other side. 8 months into the task, a huge storm came down and it destroyed many houses and much of the building that had already been done on the bridges. This meant many repairs had to be made, and some even had to start over. This frustrated 2 of the builders and they quit. The young man also had damage to its foundation, but he just took it in stride and moved on. Now it was 2 builders left, the young man and another builder. Everyone said the other man was going to win because he was a very talented builder, and quarter of his bridge was already built. All the young man had to show for all his hard work was 2 holes in the side of 2 mountains. Once the young man was done digging the foundation, he laid the slabs of rock 5 high in the foundation on each side. Then he took the sap from the caves and mixed it with dirt and water, and made it into a paste that dried and hardened like cement. He then used it to line and reinforce the walls of the foundation, making it hard as a rock. Then he took the trees he had cut and laid them side by side, 10 wide, and bound them together with rope. Once that was done, he put the glue on it that he had made from the sap from the caves, which also made it harden as cement. Then he laid it in the foundation and it fit perfectly to the exact inch. He repeated the process 4 more times, laying it 5 high and reinforcing it by putting the paste on the sides between each layer. He then took some smaller trees that he had cut and made side rail. He took the remaining slabs of rock and laid them on top to make the walkway. He reinforced it all with glue and waited a few days to let it dry. He was finished. It was now 2.5 years later, but by this time he was the only one still building, because when he laid the first layer of trees across, the other builder noticed how much more superior his construction was. So he quit and offered to help him, but he humbly declined. Once the bridge was done, he requested the presence of the king and said to him, "Great king, because of your love of your people and innovation in progress, you requested a bridge be built to connect the villages on top of the mountain. Your only requirement was that it must be able to withstand the weight of 3 elephants. But in your name, I have given you a bridge that will be able to withstand generations to come." At that moment, 2 rows of elephants, 10 deep, with a man on each one's back, marched across the bridge, and the bridge withheld all the weight without budging. The king was so impressed, he immediately said, "You are the winner." Soon after, he was crowned king and married to the princess. Since he has been crowned king, he has made more major accomplishments than anyone else, eventually becoming the richest king and man to ever live. Also, as a result of his leadership, more great men and women has come out of his kingdom than anywhere else, and it was because of one speech. Listen very closely to every word I say and believe it to be 100% true, and use it in your everyday life. And there is nothing in this world that can stop you from being as great as you want to be. Look at me closely. I am not born from royalty, but today I am a king. I was not born from money, but today I am the richest man alive. I was not born from greatness, but today I am considered the greatest man to ever live. And it's all because of the principles I have implemented in my life. I call it the 12 jewels of success. 1.